Don't we make you laugh? Aren't we funny?
Does that sound fine?
What's the boogeyman?
Welcome back to the Moonjuice Metal and Horror Podcast, the podcast where we live and breathe heavy metal and horror, but are afraid to shit on both of them. I'm Mike.
I'm Matt. And we are back. Not necessarily a special episode, but today is today is our jackass drummer Stefan's birthday. So we decided to dedicate this episode to him and cut his goofy ass into the video. And he doesn't know we're doing this. He's going to find out once the episode comes out, which is kind of funny. What do you say about Stefan, dude? Like, what things can we say about him on his birthday?
I mean, we can say a lot, but I mean, usually we don't say much nice things about him.
That's the thing. I'm looking for something. I'm looking for something that's not nice. Which I mean, that's the thing. So when you're in a metal band, like everybody knows each other really well. I think our band's kind of a tight knit group, and we just pick on each other all the time. But mostly Stefan. Stefan gets picked on more than anybody. Yeah. So this is funny, and I didn't tell you this yet, but we cut together kind of like a performance video from our practice the other day. Yeah. When I did the video, everybody is on point. Like when you do something with your bass, you can tell it's happening. When Misha sings, everything is synced perfectly. Stefan is not playing the notes that are in the song at all. And of course, the first thing he does is write in the Slack group chat, "Hey, why are my drums not synced up?" And I just did this. The answer is, Stefan, you're not playing the fucking notes that are being played in the song. Like, you're doing your own thing, and that's why you're not synced up with the music. But I didn't have the heart to tell him. Like, why do you think you look not synced? It's because you play whatever the fuck you want to play live and not what's on the album. Jackass. Anyway, Stefan is, I don't know. Without Stefan in the band, I'm not sure what else we would do. Like, who would we pick on? Like, what fun would there to be had without Stefan?
We would have to find a new victim, definitely. And yeah, I mean, he's lovable. I mean, how should I say? When it comes to Stefan, he's the type of guy, it's very hard not to like him. Yeah, really. It's very,
it's really hard not to like him.
No? Even though the guy is, like, sometimes shit comes out of that guy's mouth where you're sitting there like, really? He just said that? I mean, and you're sitting there like,
yeah, I know. Like, I think we're used to it. I think we're used to things coming out of his mouth, so it's not like shocking for us when he says something absolutely ridiculous. But when you're in the company of people who don't know him, and he says something, everybody's just like, "What? Did you get this guy from the local loony bin to play your drums? The fuck?" And the thing is, too, we're not saying he's stupid, because he's not. He says a lot of really dumb shit. And he comes off as kind of a clueless dude, but he's actually one of the smarter guys in the band. He just doesn't use his brain at all. Like, every once in a while, we'll be trying to come up with like a number because all of us suck at math, and we're like, okay, so if we do this and we do this, he's like, oh, the answer is this. Like, he knows off the top of his head what the answer to a crazy math problem is, without really thinking about it. But then he'll say something so off the wall and stupid that you just want to smack yourself in the face. But anyway, yeah, today's his birthday. How old is he? Do we even know how fucking old he is? Is he 42?
I think around that age. He's 42. He's 42. Dude, I sometimes even forget how old I am. I mean, but
yeah. Yeah, I'm at that point too. I thought I was turning 48 this year. Turns out I'm only turning 47. So I lost count too.
Yeah.
Which I guess is easy to do. Also, interesting thing. I'm the oldest person in the band. Mike is the second oldest, and then there's Misha, our guitarist, and then there's
Stefan?
then there's Stefan, and then there's Misha, and then Misha, right?
Exactly. I always used to be the oldest band.
Yeah, until I came along,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, until you came along. Yeah, but so happy birthday to Stefan.
Cheers, buddy.
And
Don't hate us
Great.
too much for what we're going to do to you in this episode. So scenes that you see here were taken from a gag reel because we had him. We had him do the English version of the announcement for our show that's coming up. And he really doesn't speak any English. He's kind of one of the only one of us that really doesn't speak English all that well. So I had him do the English version, and he just fucked it up the whole time. Obviously, as you would, but it's still hilarious. And so the stuff that you see cut in here is from that gag reel of us having to do it again and do it again and do it again until he got it right. But whatever. He's a good sport. We make fun of this dude all the fuck time, and he just puts up with it. So thanks for that, Stefan. Hi, I'm Baba Bobby of Texas Cornflake Massacre, and I am doing the English translation for this advertisement.
Hi, I'm Baba Bobby, the English translator for the No. I'm Baba Bobby, the drummer from Texas Cornflake Massacre. I'm the English translation, and I make the English. Was?
We'll do it wir machen das ein paar Mal, bis du
Ja,
das
aber
richtig.
wir können Satz für Satz machen.
Ja.
Hi, I'm Baba Bobby.
I am, yeah.
Hi, ich bin der Stefan. I'm Baba Bobby, the drummer from
From Sapien Sea.
Hi. Hi, I'm Baba Bobby, the drummer from Texas Cornflake Massacre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weiter?
And I make the English translation for us.
No. Advertisement.
Hi, I'm Baba Bobby, the drummer of Texas Cornflake Massacre. And ich hab's schon wieder vergessen. English translation for this advertisement. Okay.
Correct.
Hi, I'm Bobby. Baba.
Bobby.
Hi. Hi. I'm Baba Bobby. Okay, nochmal ernsthaft.
Yes.
Hi. And I'm doing the English
translation. The English translation for this advertisement.
I am the English translation.
I am the English translation.
Hi.
The big robbery. He wants a driver.
And I'm the bank robbery taxi driver. Hi. I'm Baba Bobby, the drummer. No? Baba Bobby, the drummer of Texas Conflict Massacre. And I'm doing the England translation for this advertisement.
Do you say England?
I'm doing the English translation.
This time with feeling, with gefühl. If you guys didn't know yet, we're playing Neckbreaker's Choice in September.
If you guys didn't know yet,
Look at that camera, dude. Weil da sind die Leute.
ach so, ja, okay.
Okay.
If you guys didn't know yet, what? If you guys, I'm Stefan. If you guys didn't know yet, if you guys didn't know yet, kann man denn da ernst machen?
Yep.
If you guys didn't, if you guys
Yeah.
didn't know yet, we're headlining Next Record's Choice in September.
We're
You guys didn't know yet, we're heading, das ist Zungenbrecher. if you guys didn't know yet, we're headlining Naked Breakers Choice.
Naked Breakers.
When I say naked, Nekkid.
Naked Break, yeah. Yeah.
Naked Breakers.
Everybody has to be naked at the show.
But
It's one of our first shows this year.
it's one of our.
You look stoned. What's wrong with you?
It's our first show, and we are being there. Okay. What?
But we're
But we're finally getting out. What?
there. Going to be a few awesome bands playing that evening.
There going to be a few awesome bands at this evening.
No.
And so is Devastated.
Those are two awesome bands from the Frankfurt region.
Those are two awesome bands from a Those are two awesome bands. Awesome.
The entire evening is going to be full with three awesome bands.
The entire evening is getting full with three. The entire evening is going to be full with three awesome bands.
Okay. So get your ass out of the house
So get your ass out of the house
and go to Neckbreaker's Choice on September 26th.
and go to what?
And go to Neckbreaker's Choice on September 26th.
And go to Neckbreaker's Choice on September 26th. And then we are kicking your ass.
Ja, dafür kommen die Leute auf jeden Fall.
Yeah.
After that violent display of the human condition, we will now return to your regular program. Thanks for your suffering.
So today we are doing a movie that Mike and I have been talking about doing for quite a long time. It's one of our favorites. For a few reasons. This movie is another movie where the dog is the hero, right?
Yeah.
So along the lines of Good Boy, if you like those kind of movies where one, the dog doesn't get killed, and two, he's also the hero, this is a movie for you. This is also a movie for you if you really, really enjoy a good-looking monster, right?
Yeah.
This,
I mean, but I would say from this kind of genre to begin with, it is definitely one of the best designs of this monster.
I'd say the best.
Yeah.
I'd say it. Well, in my opinion, I think there's one other movie that's a contender to this one in terms of how good it looks. But I think this one still wins. Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is one of those where, as an adult watching horror films, depending on what scares you or what doesn't scare you, there's a lot of movie monsters where you can say, "Oh, that looks really good. They did a great job." And then there's the other kind where you're like, "Holy fuck, dude, that looks scary as shit." And then you think about like going out in the woods after you see this movie and you're like, maybe not tonight. This is that monster. This thing looks that fucking good. And I've always thought that. And
Yeah, me too.
my question here, Mike, is why have we not gotten this version of this monster ever again? Why do you think that is? I can't figure it out. Dude.
You mean the design? I would really have to look that up. I don't know. It's well, it's quite difficult. I mean, I haven't really put that much research into it. No.
Yeah.
Exactly the exact reasons why this design was never really used again. But it's really funny because if you go into where the monster design of this specific monster, you will always see this picture show up.
Yep.
Now, if every single time, no matter where you research it, no.
Yep.
every single time this just pops up.
Yep.
This design. And it is definitely one of the most scariest ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
By far.
by far it is definitely one of the most scariest ones. And this was actually the only movie from this genre, of horror, that I actually had nightmares about.
Yeah.
I had a few days afterwards nightmares of this monster.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Because it's fucking terrifying. It's perfect. In this genre, like I said, there's only one other movie that I've seen where the design comes close, but even those are not as good looking as this one. I think what makes this one look so good, Mike, is because they got the fucking face just right. Like, you can see other ones that are still good designs, but the face just does not look like the monster it's supposed to be. Like, we can use a bunch of movies as an example, but it's going to give away what the creature is. So we might as well go ahead and say what the fuck this is. So what movie are we doing today, Mike?
We're doing Bad Moon. Another werewolf movie.
Yeah, surprise, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And what a fucking cool movie poster too. Like that's the other thing. The movie poster for this is what made me want to see it because it looks sick as fuck. I mean, look at that thing.
Yes. There are multiple movie posters of this depending on what region you are when it was released. And they all look good. Really, they all do. The one thing you can say about the werewolf design is that the face looks kind of stiff a lot of times because you can see that the mouth just goes up and down. No?
Right.
And the eyes move a little bit. That I think definitely is something they could have done better if this design was used again. I think that was something they could have improved on. But other than that, this is like, yes, I would consider it one of the most best looking werewolf designs. And that is, for me, it was always American Werewolf in London in this movie, where I have nothing to criticize about this, the design of this monster at all.
No.
Because it's just like, what is brilliant about this werewolf is even more than American Werewolf in London is American Werewolf in London. If you look into the eyes of it, specifically there was a scene where they have it cornered back into the alley. You could see a little bit of humanity in it, and there's a spark of it, and that kind of made you empathize with the character that is the werewolf.
Yeah.
What made that werewolf design very cool was the noises it made.
Yeah.
Because it sounded absolutely unnatural and not like a typical wolf, because that's what a lot of werewolf movies do, is that the werewolves howl or whatever, and they make a growling sound. That is okay. But the point is, werewolves in the most cases are not natural. No? Yeah. They are some kind of supernatural being. And that is why specifically these two movies, I think, stand out brilliantly because if you look at the face, the facial expression of this werewolf, it looks like a fucking psychopath. It has
terrifying.
It has a fucking really terrifying look in its eyes, and it looks at everything as if it's going to bite its fucking head off.
Yeah,
and it perfectly captures that state.
Yeah.
And also the sounds that this werewolf makes, that is uncomparable to anything. There's no wild animal, no wolf, no human that you will see make this sound. It just sounds like an absolute unnatural demonic creature. Yeah. What makes specifically this werewolf very, very terrifying.
Yeah. And for me, the only one that comes close to this design is probably the design from Dog Soldiers. But that design is so static. The faces are so static. I mean, you can pretty much tell it's a very tall, slim person in a suit. Like, you look at it and it looks really good, but you know it's a suit. This one, there are times in this movie I'm just like, holy fuck, dude. Like, if I saw this thing in front of me, I would believe 100% it was a werewolf.
Yeah.
It is done that well. This thing is menacing, extremely tall, and they got it right because it walks like a werewolf would. Like the back legs are bent backwards, to where it's not like normal human legs. And the way it moves when you do see it move is very, very wolf-like, but also very humanoid at the same time. And I think that is, at least for me, that's when I look at a werewolf and I say, okay, that looks terrifying because it looks partially human and it looks like it's also a wolf and it moves like both of those things together. And I think that's the point that you want to get to with a werewolf, is if it has that unnatural / natural movement that makes it look real. And of course, like you said, the eyes, the face, it looks like it just wants to, it looks like an insane person. Like it just wants to destroy everything in its path. Also, you're led to believe throughout this film too, I think from the opening scene, you see what this thing can do. If this thing gets a hold of you, dude, you're not going to get away from it alive. Like there's no way. This thing will rip you to shreds.
Yeah.
It's just the sheer mass of this thing and the strength, fucking terrifying. And so that's why this movie sticks with me. Apart from the fact that you've got the dog as the hero, I think the combination of those two things, the werewolf looking as good as it does and that the dog is the hero, makes this one of my absolute favorite werewolf films. Now we do have to talk about the elephant in the room though. And that is this transformation, right?
Stupid bitch.
That is the biggest criticism I have for this movie. Even though the werewolf design is brilliant, it has one of the worst werewolf transformation scenes in cinema. I mean, the first half of the transformation.
It's okay.
In the scene where his transformation starts and he has like this kind of wolf-like features, that is cool.
Yeah.
But then you have like when the transformation fully begins, the first sequence is awful.
Yeah.
Worst part of any werewolf transformation in cinema to date. But the second part, where you see him grow in size and then scream at the moon, that is cool again.
Yeah.
I mean, done with stop motion, obviously.
But it doesn't take you out of it. It's done well.
Yeah.
The thing is, and I have to wonder what the filmmaker was thinking. You could have cut this transformation scene by about 10 seconds and it would have looked amazing, but they kept the bad looking stuff in there and that bothers me. But
they could have pulled this movie off without a transformation scene.
yeah,
Now, for example, you have like the scene where you hear his bones cracking or whatever, and then he falls to the floor and he has like the fangs and everything, but he's not turned yet. The transformation has fully begun, but you can see that the wolf has taken over.
Yep.
It could just cut to her running away. Now you would hear like these noises and transformation, the bones cracking or whatever, and you would just see from behind the werewolf rising up.
Yeah.
No,
that would have been fun.
That would have been fully fine, and they could have pulled this movie off without a transformation scene. But it does just simply ruin it. It doesn't ruin the movie, but it's just like you have to subtract points from this movie simply because how awful the transformation scene is.
Yeah, I'd chalk it up to the whole early 90s wanting to use CGI because it was somewhat of a new thing, which is the same trap they fell into with American Werewolf in Paris, like overuse of CGI. But at this time, I think most of the budget for this film, and this is just a guess, I don't know, but I think most of the budget for this film went to the werewolf design and making that work. So whatever they had left over, they put into CGI, and they didn't have to do that. But it's very common for movies at this time. This came out in 1996.
Yeah.
Which American Werewolf in Paris came out when? Like right around the time.
A year later. It came around, these movies came out around the same time.
Okay. So yeah, it's just an early 90s CGI wanting to use it when you didn't really need to. But it is what it is. Like Mike said, it doesn't take you out of the film so bad that it ruins it. It's just very noticeable that it looks bad. But that's okay. I think if anybody watching this has not seen the movie and you were to go watch it, you would probably consider this one of the better werewolf films. It just is. It's excellent. The story is also extremely creepy, and the setup here is a very simple setup. Yeah, it's not far-fetched or extremely supernatural or anything like that. It's actually really well told to where it would be believable. Like, if there was a situation in the real world where this kind of thing happened, I could totally see it happening the way that it does, which is great from a storytelling perspective. There's nothing like way over the top about how this happens. It also says a lot about dogs because I was reading so this was a book before it was a movie, as we've talked about before. And the person who wrote the book, I cannot remember the name, although I just read it. So sorry about that. This person did a lot of research with dogs, what sets them off, how they act when something is not right. And every movement you see this dog make in the movie is exactly what a dog would do, a family pet would do if it realized that it was in the presence of a werewolf, right? And so I think the acting of the dog or the training that this thing had to act the way that it did was also, there's probably a lot of money put into that as well. Because the dog steals the show, man. The dog Thor is awesome. But yeah, before we get into the movie, I guess we should butcher some actors' names, right?
Yes, exactly. The ritual of name butchering. But obviously, before we get into that, if you like our podcast, please don't forget to leave a comment on this video, give us a like, and subscribe to our channel because it really helps us out. Yep. Okay, well, then let's get it started. It starts out with Michael Perry, who plays Uncle Ted. Yep. We have Mason Gamble, who plays Brett. Marielle Hemingway, who plays Jeanette. We have Ken Pogue, who plays Sheriff Jensen. Hrothgar Matthews, who plays Flopsy. And Johanna Marlowe, who plays Marjorie.
Okay.
Yes, of course. Then we have like the guy that gets eaten by the werewolf and a reporter, but that's pretty much it. And of course, last but not least, the most important character, Primo, who plays Thor.
Okay. You didn't butcher any names, Mike, but
this time no.
I'll drink one anyway, just for good measure, because why not? Cheers. Yes, the dog is by far the most important character. Did you say Primo is his name?
Yes, Primo is the dog's name, or was probably, because the dog is probably not alive anymore.
Probably not alive anymore, which is sad. We need to get on the science of making dogs live longer pretty quick. Yeah. So, like I said, the setup for this movie is brilliant. It's brilliant. It starts out in Nepal, right? Which is, I don't know if anybody knows where Nepal is, but it starts out there. I would call this guy the main character. He's actually the werewolf. His name is Ted, but he is what I assume is like an archaeologist, right? An archaeologist or an explorer.
He's a reporter. He's a reporter.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah. He's not anything. He's a reporter, and he's doing some reporting or writing some article or whatever.
Wildlife photographer. That's what he is.
Wildlife. Yeah, something like that. And he's with his wife in Nepal, more or less.
And her name's Marjorie. And I guess they're on an assignment to photograph wildlife. And they're at a campsite, right, at night, amongst a bunch of Nepalese people that are obviously like their tour guides to go do this stuff. They kind of make camp in the jungle. They eat dinner, joke around. There's not a whole lot of character development here because it's not really needed. You just kind of need to see the situation. Nothing really seems unusual. Like if you go into this knowing it's a horror film, then you already know what's going to happen. But if you didn't know and you were watching this, you'd be like, okay, what is this adventure story I'm about to get told, right? There's no hint to the audience that anything is going to go wrong. There's no ominous music. There's no anything like that. It's just a couple that are out in Nepal doing their job, right?
Yeah.
So the next scene you see is these two are in their tent, him and his wife, and they're making out. And then all of a sudden, something like rips through the tent, like out of nowhere. And there's no real hint to what this thing is either. Like you said, because of the sounds this thing makes, it does not sound like a wolf. It doesn't sound like a werewolf. It sounds like some fucking mutant creature or whatever. It rips through and it grabs Marjorie and drags her out screaming into the jungle. So this thing has taken his girlfriend, his wife. He gets up and grabs a shotgun that he has with him and runs out into the jungle after her. And this is where, right at the beginning of the movie,
You're slightly wrong. He gets out of the tent, tries to save his daughter, but the werewolf shoves him away. Then he flies a few meters. Yeah, and he had like this big scratch. This is where he got infected. He sees the shotgun, and then he crawls towards the shotgun, and this is where you see the werewolf tearing his wife apart.
Yeah, it's fucking brutal.
She's screaming in horrible pain while this werewolf is ripping at her and just biting at her.
Yeah. It's not just that, dude. This werewolf is also brutal as fuck. So he's not just ripping her apart and biting her. Like when he gets done, like tearing her apart and ripping her, he pushes her away to where she's kind of like wobbling off to the side a little bit, and then he just brings a big fist down on top of her and smashes her. So it's like this werewolf is also like physically violent more so than what you would expect.
Yeah, not only he holds her up in front of him, screams at her, and then he just goes boom. Yeah, and then
dead as hell.
Pretty, definitely one of the most brutal werewolves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, it's worth mentioning with most werewolf movies, you do not get to see the creature this soon. This is literally the opening scene. And you get to see this thing, exactly what it looks like, how big it is, everything right up front. And I can't remember another werewolf movie where they do that. Which is really cool because as the viewer, you see that and now you know what you're in for the rest of the movie is this kind of creature. And it's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
I think his wife dies in his arms too after he shoots the werewolf's fucking head off, doesn't he?
No, that doesn't even show. He crawls up, grabs the gun, aims at the werewolf. The werewolf turns around, wants to charge at him, and then he blows the werewolf's head off. Yeah. That is the last time the werewolf, basically hits off the head of his wife. That's the last time you see anything of her.
Okay. Yeah. So the werewolf is dead and he's been scratched, right?
Exactly. So that means now he's infected and now he is also a werewolf. What's not entirely depicted in the lore is how long it'll take him to become a werewolf. That differs from story to story, can be entirely different. Yeah. That's the funny thing. I had a discussion with some friends like with vampires and werewolves, more or less. The lore changes. Yeah. Literally, whatever franchise you're in. Crazy. Really crazy. Huh? But when it comes to zombies, the lore is usually consistent no matter what franchise. Right. That's kind of it's a little bit weird. Huh? Yeah. But however.
I wonder how much of that has to do with like the historical aspect of it, because these creatures didn't come out of nowhere, right? Zombies, werewolves, vampires, they all came from some type of folklore. And I feel like zombies are kind of recent, like not as recent as werewolves and vampires, but probably more recent. So it's kind of set in stone how they are. Oh?
You pick pop culture, yes. When it comes to pop culture, yes, they are more recent than vampires and werewolves. Vampires and werewolves have been around for a very, very long time when it comes to pop culture. No? And it pretty much started with Dracula. No? Yeah. I'm not entirely sure what year the book came out. Not entirely sure, but it was a long time ago.
Long time ago, yeah.
Yeah, and around that time, I'm not sure when werewolves started coming into pop culture. What I believe is the Wolfman. No, I said that obviously it's the Wolfman.
Yeah, right.
How can I forget that? I mean, how should I'm not entirely sure if the Wolfman was actually the first portrayal of werewolves in pop culture, but the original Wolfman movie, I think whenever it came out in the 40s, I guess.
Yeah.
That is what created the werewolf that we know today. Because what the most people know, I've probably mentioned this in every werewolf episode.
Oh, we do. We beat this to death, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Because what people know as a werewolf today, that is purely was created through the wolf.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Right. But however, when we come back to the point, it was like what I was saying, how long does it take him to take somebody to become a werewolf? And I'm just going to go back to the core basics. I would say the next full moon night.
Mm-hmm.
It's how long it'll take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't really change so much with the movies in terms of when it happens. But there are the ones like skinwalkers and stuff like that that can change whenever they want to, right?
No. Skinwalkers can change whenever they want to, only on full moons.
Okay. So what werewolf... Oh, shit. That's a whole discussion. What werewolf movies are there where they can just transform when they want to?
Underworld. You have the Werewolf TV series, 1980s. No?
We still have to do that.
Yeah.
I fucking want to do that so bad.
Howling. Howling is a franchise where they can turn whenever they want. By will.
Yeah.
But also the thing is, in the Howling, when you become a werewolf, the beast automatically kind of overwrites your personality as well. Same thing goes with the movie Skinwalkers. You stay yourself if you have not killed somebody. Once a werewolf kills somebody and drinks human blood, the beast overwrites your personality, more or less. Okay. Yeah. That's and they also stay evil with their inhuman form. That's when it comes to Skinwalkers. But here we have the typical werewolf. They turn by full moon and have no recollection of what happens. But also, this is also, you can make the claim it's very, very unclear because in this movie specifically, we haven't seen any werewolf that has been a werewolf for a very long amount of time.
Right.
We don't know. No, because the first werewolf you see in the beginning, it's just the werewolf. You have no idea
very unclear.
Who the person is totally unclear. No? It's also totally unclear. The lore is not entirely said, no, but it hints at multiple areas that it follows the typical werewolf lore. No?
Yeah.
You know? But also I just think I forgot lost my trail of thought.
No, it's okay. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think maybe you could look at the way that Ted acts throughout this film, and it's kind of a toss-up as to whether or not you believe that his personality has been affected by this thing taking over or not. Because what we know about this guy beforehand is also not much, right? He may very well have been a jerk, but I doubt it, right?
Yeah. No, me too. I doubt it as well. You can say a lot of things he does later off that is kind of the werewolf taking over, but you could also say to a certain degree this is like Werewolf Nights. And in the majority of werewolf stories, the werewolves, they become more aggressive. The beast is very stronger, even in their human form. That means typical urges like sex drive, hunger, violence, that all becomes stronger during the full moon, not even when they're in human form. And you can link that back to Ted because Ted is, in my opinion, an idiot. Nah? Yeah. And I would definitely consider him to be definitely in the top 10 of stupid people in horror movies.
I can agree with you there. Yeah.
But how should I say it? He's not a character that's unlikable.
Right.
And a lot of his beliefs in this movie, this character specifically, is like it's totally brain dead.
Yeah.
But you consider the point, this guy is desperate. He does not know what to do.
Mhm.
He does not know who could help him or how to get help. And for himself, he has ruled out any logical explanation. So he somehow believes the power of love can heal him from the werewolf.
Yeah, which I honestly think, though, I will give this movie credit. I honestly think that a person in this situation where they've given up all hope on trying to fix this and they know what this is, if you don't know what the cure is, then maybe becoming more of yourself or more involved in like human things like loving your family and being part of a unit might actually change it. I can buy that. I can buy that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I think
of
maybe,
course. I mean, that was probably his trail of thought, but he doesn't communicate it very well. And the thing is, what makes this guy stupid? Everything bad happening in this movie is basically this guy keeping everything to himself.
Yep.
Huh?
Yep.
That
It's
is
like getting bit by a scorpion. The longer you don't tell somebody about it, the worse it gets.
yeah, that's just like, however, yeah, because the good thing is this movie is also very short.
Yeah, it is.
So, but I mean, where we were when he blew off the werewolf's head. It goes to the helicopter camera thing where it shows the area and everything. You have the title and everything going on. Then it comes back to the house where a family lives with their dog.
Yeah.
This is Ted's sister. And you see, like, this is where you first see the kid playing with Thor. And, you know, what is cool what this movie does is you see a scene with the kid playing with Thor that you see the camera switches to Thor's view.
Yep.
And this is just like often, I've seen multiple people say like, oh, why do they have this weird view all of a sudden? And it's like, can't you tell it's supposed to be the view? Can't you tell it's supposed to be the view of the dog? Just like in American Werewolf in Paris, I've seen multiple people bring this up when watching that movie. They're like, why is the view so weird all of a sudden? And it's, dude, isn't it obvious? Isn't it obvious it's supposed to be the view of the werewolf?
No,
But-
some people are just dumb, Mike.
Yeah, but
Some people are just dumb.
Yeah.
I think the important thing to remember here, too, is that this is done after a book. And me and Mike haven't read the book, but I'm seriously thinking about it because I learned a bunch of stuff about this film from reading excerpts of the book. And there's a lot of that they don't bring into the film, but the book sounds super interesting. But the fact that they cut to the dog's view makes all the sense in the world. And I actually wish they had done it more because the book is completely written from the point of view of the dog, all of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so when you see this, you have to remember this movie is from a book where the whole point of the view is from the dog. So I think this is not the only scene where we get the dog's eye view, but it is one of the first scenes you get of the dog. And it goes immediately into the dog's point of view, which is kind of a hint, right? And it's well done. And I didn't think it was that weird that they cut to that view.
No, me neither. Me
Like,
neither.
why wouldn't you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, because you have like, all of a sudden you have like this creepy guy come walking up to them, talking to the boy, to the dog. Oh, that's a big dog. Oh, is it a horse? No, and the guy, it's not a horse. It's a dog. It's a German Shepherd. And it's like, obviously this guy's a complete fucking asshole and idiot because it's like, this is clear. I mean, people that talk this way to a kid and his dog, you have to be a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Because, specifically if you're an animal and a dog person, this guy comes creepy, but specifically if kids have a pet and a dog and you say anything that's not super positive about that pet, that is the best way to get a child to dislike you within seconds.
Exactly. Yeah. And he knows exactly what he's doing. This guy has ulterior motives that we're about to find out about. But this draws off of something that was happening at the time in the United States too. This is early 90s. There were people that would go around trying to get your dog to react to something that they would do so that the dog would bite them. And then they would sue the family for a bunch of money because people in the 90s, probably still now, are sue crazy in the United States. And so that's
Mhm,
exactly
mhm.
what this guy is doing. He's walking up to this kid who has this big German Shepherd in the yard. I think he asks the kid where his mom is, right? If I'm remembering
Yeah,
correctly.
yeah. He asked where his parents are, and that's
Right.
when his mom comes walking down the stairs
Right.
of the property of the house. This guy tells, he's selling books or whatever,
Right.
and he opens up his suitcase in a way that is so provoking to the dog, and however,
It's so
the dog
obvious.
starts barking at him, and then he runs up and goes like, like he's going to hit one of the people. No,
Yeah.
and then the dog attacks him. Obviously,
Of course. Yeah.
She pulls off the dog. Dog doesn't hurt him or whatever. He's like, "Oh my god, I'm so hurt. You should get a lawyer or whatever." Nah, this is scene where just like make this woman super sympathetic.
Yeah.
Because this is just what I have to be honest, turns me on a little bit because she's very smart. And
Yeah.
she just pulls out the card onto the floor and says, "Well, yeah, then talk to me. I am a lawyer."
Whoops. Whoops.
And he's like, "Whoops."
Yeah.
He says, "Well," she's like, I could take you to a doctor. We could call the sheriff." He's like, "Hey, just go and call the sheriff. He might be interested." He's like, "No, I don't need any of that." He's okay. Flopsy is what she calls him. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if this is a term that was actually used by lawyers.
I don't know, but it probably is.
Yeah. The boy asks his mom, like, what's a flopsy? She explains it to him. It's a term lawyers use for people that come up and provoke the dogs of other people. So the dog attacks them, and then they sue them for money.
Right.
This guy is instantly pissed off.
Oh, yeah. He knows he fucked up because he's not
Yeah.
getting anything out of this.
Yeah. She just tells Thor to sit down, and she looks at him and says, "Well, you don't have to consider this an entire loss. Yeah, now you know. Don't fuck with a lawyer on their own territory or something like that."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the guy leaves. But
Yeah.
this whole scene was set up just to show you how protective Thor is. Like during this entire scene, he goes from being a happy, playful dog within a family unit. The minute this guy shows up, his whole behavior changes. Like tail goes back, ear goes up, very watchful. Like if you have a dog, when they see something that is not right or that they feel is off, the eye contact of a dog with that thing that they don't like is unbreakable. They just stare. And that's exactly what he does. So you already know that this dog is super fucking protective and smart, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This guy leaves because he realizes he's been defeated, and there's no point in him doing what he's doing. This guy is obviously going to come back later.
Yeah.
Now, the next scene we get, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, so do we get kind of an idea from Ted that he's transforming at all or that something is odd? Because he's moved back to the United States in a
Not
trailer.
yet. You don't know any of that yet. The next scene is it cuts back to evening in the house. You can see Thor checking up on the kid. Then checking up on the mom, and the dog. The mom just says something. Yeah, good night, good boy, or something like that. And Thor just walks off. I mean, gives the licks the boy, makes sure he's okay, then sits down on his carpet in front of the chimney and goes to sleep.
Yeah.
Then it cuts back to the next morning where the family is having breakfast. Then what's her name? The mom, I can't remember. The funny thing is, Thor is like the only character's name I can remember, and
I don't remember the mom's name either, dude.
What's her name? What's her name? Hemingway. I remember the actress's last name. We're just gonna call her Hemingway. No,
oh, mom. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, Hemingway gets a call from Ted, and now she knows. Oh, Ted, what? You've been back for 3 months and you haven't told me, and blah blah blah. Of course, we would like come to visit you. And then you see like a scene. It cuts to the scene of them driving through the woods. The son asking his mom questions or whatever. Uncle Ted is back and blah blah blah. And this is where the mom says like, yeah, and he's already been back for 3 months and hasn't called us or whatever. And of course they come pulling up to this lake, and Ted is now living in the camper in the middle of the fucking woods.
Yeah. Which is not odd, right?
Dog gets out, runs up towards him, and you can see this is the second time where it cuts to Thor's view. You can see Thor running up to Ted, greeting him like every normal dog was. Obviously, the dog knows him. The dog has not yet sensed anything weird about him.
Yeah.
Okay, then they basically just greet each other and have a family thing going on. The dog goes sniffing off in the woods. Or wait.
I was gonna say, I think there's a scene here that we get before we know that Ted is back, right? And it's
this is exactly, it cuts to the evening where Thor is sitting assembly, it cuts to the woods.
Yeah.
This is an area now where Ted lives. You have like this forest worker or I don't know, or lumberjack.
This guy is the guy that goes around marking trees that are supposed to get cut down because they're either sick or they need to be removed because something's being built. So he's going around measuring trees to get cut down.
Yeah.
In the middle of the fucking night, but whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, he hears voices or sounds in the forest, doesn't think much of it until he hears them coming closer and closer towards them, and then being some kind of animal, so he runs. No? Yeah. Stops after a short time until he hears something, feels something, or hears something dropping on his helmet, looks up, and the werewolf comes down and just bites his fucking head off.
Dude, this kill is sick, because you see what this werewolf is capable of. We saw it at the beginning when another werewolf attacked his wife.
Yeah.
But this werewolf is insanely powerful because he doesn't have to do anything to this guy other than bite his head. And what you see is this werewolf's mouth clamping down on this guy's head, who is wearing a hard hat, by the way.
Yeah.
And just biting right through the fucking hard hat into the guy's head and smashing his head in his jaws. Like, this thing is fucking super powerful, right?
Yeah, because you know how much power you have to have in a bite to bite through a hard helm like that. I don't even think a tiger or a lion could do that. Right?
No, I mean those things. The hard hats are built to keep you safe. Like, they can withstand a shit ton of pressure. This thing bites through it like it's made out of butter and then crushes the guy's head in its jaws. Like, this thing is sickly overpowered for a werewolf, or maybe average for a werewolf. I mean, they are supernatural. But
yeah, of course,
the kill is brilliant. There's this big blood splatter, and it just looks insanely brutal. Anytime this thing attacks something in this movie, it's sick. Like, really fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the end of that guy, and then it comes to the scene we were talking about where they go and visit him at his camper.
Yeah. And they're going to camper doing things, and Thor goes off in the woods sniffing or whatever. Yeah. And their family, they're sitting there having a grill and whatever and doing their thing. Thor goes off in the woods sniffing until he first you think he's going to be attacked by something, but then it's just birds coming out of a bush scaring Thor away.
Little jump scare. Yeah,
a little jump scare, and then it comes up to a tree where you see blood. Then Thor looks up, and then you can see the remaining body parts of the guy that got killed by the werewolf evening prior.
Yeah.
What the werewolf had eaten, I guess, or whatever. No?
Yeah. It's just spread all the way up the tree. It's just like bones and pieces of dude, fuck.
Because this werewolf pulled this guy up through the tree and ate him, apparently, while he was still in the fucking tree. So you can clearly see, you could not see in the scene where the guy got killed, the werewolf chasing him. Yeah. So this werewolf was up jumping from tree to tree.
Right. That's one of the things I wanted to say. This thing is like agile as fuck.
Yeah. Super agile. Not only
snapped him from the top of the tree and then drug his carcass up into the tree and ate the rest of him. And this thing, his body is shredded. There's like just pieces left.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I love it.
I mean, this freaks off Thor, and he runs back to the camper. Once he comes in, this is where you can see that the dog obviously senses that something's wrong with Ted.
Yeah, it's the smell.
The dog first goes back at him when he sees Ted. Ted goes and knees in front of the dog. Oh, come here, Thor, whatever. Eventually, Ted walks up to him because the Thor knows Ted, obviously.
Yeah,
and that's Ted pets him, And then the Hemingway says like, "Oh yeah, he wouldn't be this way if you were be around more often."
Yeah.
And Ted just looks at Thor and says, "Well, they recognize their own."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is he knows at this point too that the dog is onto him. Absolutely.
He does. He knows.
Like there's no doubt. And this is where I have to wonder what is his thought process here? I get it that he thinks being around his family and kind of becoming part of a unit is going to help him break this curse. But at the same time, he has to realize that he is a huge threat to his own family as well. Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, we do see later that he takes steps to kind of keep himself from hurting people, but he's still in very close proximity to his family. He knows where they live. Right.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. I don't understand.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter for the movie because I don't think this is something that's out of the realm of something that would happen. But if it were me, I would want to stay as far from my family as I could.
Obviously. Or somehow make... I mean, the thing is, even though this werewolf is insanely powerful, it's not like so powerful you couldn't lock this thing up.
Yeah.
More or less. So... however, but even this, a lot of things happening in this movie could have been prevented if Ted would have just been honest.
Yeah.
And not try to hide it from them. I mean, because eventually they leave because Ted more or less shoos them away because he knows it's starting to become nighttime and he doesn't want to hurt them. No.
Right.
So then after that, the next morning, she gets a call from him. And she offered for him to visit them or whatever.
Yeah,
and then come on, just put your camper in our garden and visit us for a few days. So this is where he comes back and visits the family. They're having drinks and talking and whatever. Thor is instantly suspicious.
Thor is not cool with any of this, dude.
Yeah. He senses that something's wrong with Ted, but doesn't know what. Yeah. But this is like the thing where it's like, eventually later on, Ted makes hints towards Hemingway, about something going on. But it's just like, this is the point, and he, you see them having a few beer, drinking in his camper. Then all of a sudden, she pulls out these major handcuffs. She thinks it's something kinky and starts making fun of it or whatever. And he takes it away from what obviously he bought these things to tie himself up or something.
Right.
But this is pretty much where it goes off. She says like, "Oh yeah, you want to come down and eat with us tonight?" And he's like, "Oh no, I'd rather be on my own." She says, "Yeah, okay, fine, but just come by when you like." Okay.
Yeah.
Good. This is the scene where then it cuts to nighttime, and Thor is flipping out because he knows something's in the woods.
Right.
Then, of course, the mom lets him out so he can go out and check.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you see Thor going through the woods. Now, and I'm gonna cut there because I wanted to clear my thoughts. This is like, Ted knows exactly what he is. Yeah. He knows he's a werewolf. He knows he's going to turn on full moon nights or whatever. He knows he's a danger to his family. We all brought that up. This is like something he could have, he could have prevented a lot of these evil things from happening by talking to his sister Uphand.
Yeah.
By basically he could have easily told his sister like something like, "Hey, whenever you're here, come with, but bring a gun with and have it loaded." Yeah. Obviously, he could have even prepared a shotgun.
Yes.
And said, here, at my camper, when you come up here in the night, here's a shotgun, take it and make sure it's loaded. Then go up to this tree and show her exactly what tree it is.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tie myself up to that tree.
Yeah. Yeah.
And or whatever, or he could just say even before he turns, he could say, "Be there, please, at this time of the day." And once he knows it's going to happen, he can go with her, to the woods, tie himself up to the tree because we know already that these handcuffs will hold up. But before he does that, gives her the shotgun. And she'll be like, what, or whatever. And he says, trust me, just wait. There's something wrong with me. And you have to know. More or less.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he says, trust me, it's going to be horrific. It's going to freak you out. That's why you have to have this shotgun. And he says, if I start attacking you, use it.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
And didn't he just have to wait?
Go ahead.
He would have had to wait. He would have turned in front of her. She would have saw it. No? He would have had the shotgun. He would be tied up to the tree. So either she would shoot him and relieve him of this curse, or she would obviously run away. He would change back the next morning. Then he could talk to her about it. Then she would know what's wrong with him. He could explain everything to him. And then, with his family, they could have come up with a solution that would not put anybody in danger.
Yeah,
this is
possibly. But I also look at this woman and I think because of what she is and because she's so intelligent, I don't think that she would have just allowed him to chain himself up on her property every night. And I mean doing that before he came to visit her in his area. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Before, so she knew what was going to come up. That's what I meant, not after he visited.
Okay.
But this is just one scenario. If he already knows what he is, he would have up front told this to his sister. She would have known he has this kind of disease or whatever. Then they could come up with some way to prevent him from hurting people.
Yeah.
And this is just because even though he's this evil werewolf, even cuffing himself up to a tree every night would have worked. Yeah. She would have obviously kept Thor inside, so he wouldn't have done anything. And, it's just like this guy, everything bad happened in this movie is just because Ted is an insane idiot and he doesn't tell anybody that he has this problem.
He's also selfish. He's also selfish because it takes a certain person to put your family in jeopardy just so that you can get better. You know what I mean? And that's the problem I have with it. Because I'm with you. If this was me and it was my sister, I'd be like, hey, I'm a fucking werewolf. I know that sounds crazy, but please follow me and you're going to watch. And then that way you know it's true. And then maybe we can come up with a solution. But you get kind of the feeling that these two might not have that close of a relationship anyway. You know what I mean?
But even if, dude, you know, it's like this guy is obviously bothered by the fact that he's killing people at night.
Of course.
No? Yeah. He's obviously bothered by it. He's trying to get rid of it somehow.
Yeah.
But however, Thor comes walking up through the woods, and this is where you see the first view of the werewolf. And it's fucking terrifying. Because and it's like,
you got to tell the story of your sister here.
This is my sister. I watched this movie, I think, first with my sister, my older and my younger sister. In the intro scene, that is where my sister left the room because she cannot.
Okay, I thought it was this scene because this is fucking terrifying.
No, actually, but she's like, I think she came back. Because. Oh no! I think she closed her eyes or whatever. She didn't. Just the sounds enough was enough for her. Okay.
Yeah.
No. But did we watched the movie or whatever? Then it came up to this scene, and simply only seeing this werewolf, only seeing it. It hasn't done anything yet. You could see like the werewolf trying to free itself, then screaming at the sky, and then it sees Thor.
Yeah.
Then it sees something it can bite, that it can eat, and you see the way it pulls up its snout like it's going to attack something. The look on its face, not where it's screaming, and then Thor runs away, totally terrified.
Yeah, right.
Werewolf screams and even more aggressively tries to squeeze himself from the tree. This scene alone. There's also a scene where you can see the Hemingway calling Thor, and that's when the werewolf looks over and notices somebody else is there.
Right.
It smells in her. It smells in the air. It's like, however, this scene alone, only seeing this monster not doing anything, just tied up to a tree, was reason enough for my sister to walk out the room. She never came back.
Yeah.
That was enough. This scene alone was enough. For
Yeah,
my
dude,
own
I agree with her. Like, if you're squeamish about monsters, or even if you like horror movies, but some things really bother you that are terrifying, this would be the scene. Because this thing, I'm telling you, that like whoever figured out how this was going to work, how to make this thing look terrifying, the animatronics that are involved to make this thing look this way was fucking genius. And they should hire this person again for every fucking werewolf movie. Because when you see this thing chained up to the tree, it is fucking terrifying. It is great. So yeah, I don't blame your sister at all. My only gripe here, though, Mike, I'm not sure what these handcuffs are made out of, or the chain that he has that are attached to him to wrap around the tree. But I'm not so sure this thing would keep this werewolf chained up.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I mean, this thing is insanely powerful.
Yeah, that's the question. It says like maximum steel. What exact handcuffs are these? Nah.
Yeah.
Obviously, I understand the point where you say like, yeah, these handcuffs probably wouldn't hold this werewolf. Probably not. But
No,
it's like, I don't know.
absolutely not.
I mean, it should have been like when they brought up the lore, they should have made it like it's maximum handcuffs made of silver or something like that.
Yeah, that would have worked for
me.
Like, give some explanation.
That is something. If they would have brought that in, Matt, it would be like, yeah, okay, fine. I mean, he put these around his wrists because werewolves are vulnerable to silver.
Yeah.
And every time the werewolf would yank on it, it would put him in severe pain.
Yeah.
Okay. But they didn't do it for some reason, and
it's okay. I mean, I can overlook it. We know what this werewolf is capable of. So unless this is like some fucking material that they use to build the spacecraft or titanium or something, this werewolf is going to bend those things like it's butter. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. But that it has to be some kind of strength, because you can see the power and the strength of this werewolf.
Yeah.
I mean, this werewolf can pull up a full-grown man into a tree and eat it without having to go back down.
Yeah.
You can see it pick up an adult woman, just hold her up with one hand.
Yeah.
And that is a level of strength. The most guys won't be able to do that.
No, fuck no. Nobody. Not even your power lifters can do that shit.
I mean, not even guys that work out regularly could take a human being, an adult human, and pick him up with one hand. You see that in Hollywood movies often, but that's something not going to happen in reality, because everybody's going to need two hands to pick somebody up. But not only that, it picks this woman up. It doesn't even pick it up like this woman is heavy to it in any kind of a way.
That's what I'm saying. That's why the whole chain around the tree with handcuffs thing, I'm not buying it. But and they didn't give any explanation for it. But I can overlook that. I just think that if I were this guy, I would have maybe done more. I would have definitely done more.
Yes, definitely. I would have definitely done more. But I mean, I think it's absolutely worthy of criticism. But it is a point you can bring up, and that's valid. But
that's probably the only problem I have with this movie, honestly. Yeah.
It's not something that obviously, and of course the awful transformation scene. Yeah. It cuts back to the next morning. You saw him walking in the morning, like totally fucking beat up into the camper. The dog watching him. No, you can see Thor watching him. No. However, then cuts back to the family having breakfast, whatever. Hemingway's making breakfast. The son is sitting watching Wolfman. No?
Yeah, because I caught that too. Yeah.
Yeah, he found this book of werewolf lore in Ted's camper, and that's kind of got him interested into werewolf. He's watching this werewolf. Ted comes in, sees him watching the wolf man, and starts laughing at it. No?
Yeah.
and the boys, why is this funny? He's turning into a monster. Ted sits down and starts having a talk with the kid about werewolves or whatever. Brings up like, oh yeah, well, why only full moons? Well, could actually any moonlight where they turn, and not necessarily silver. With a shotgun, you can blow their head off. Works fine. It's acting like really real, and the boy's just like, werewolves don't exist. It's now you got it. It's just like, okay,
it's a good bit of color dialogue that works. Yeah. I like it. I like it.
Yeah. Then it comes up to the scene where you have Ted having a talk with Hemingway, Nah, the boy
Yeah.
goes off. And Ted starts a conversation with Hemingway, like, "Hey, maybe you shouldn't have." I think Mason is his name. I think the boy Mason.
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't have Mason playing in the woods because there could be a animal around hurting people. And you saw the thing on the news of the animal, and he's like, "Yeah, but that's like 200 miles away."
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, yeah, but animals, predators, some predators can go quite so far sometimes." And you're like, "Yeah, but we have Thor, and Thor's a pretty big fucking dog, no?"
Right.
And you're like, "Yeah, but do you know how good wolves can get?" And she's like, "Oh, yeah, wolf is like 50 pounds." Or I'm not sure if that's what she says, no?
I can't remember. Yeah.
Like 60, 70 pounds. And he's like, "Do you know how big a gray wolf can get? Up to 90 pounds. Huh?" And anyway, he's just confused, like, what's wrong?
Why
I mean,
does this
it's
matter to you, Ted?
well, yeah, like why? I mean, it's and this is like the first scene where Ted is trying to hint towards her that something is wrong. He's trying to
Yeah.
prevent his family from going into the woods at night because he knows he's going to be changed up there. This is the point where I said, why making a secret of it? But this, I do think, could be a metaphor for something. Yeah. For a lot of people, when they have issues, when they have mental health issues, they don't talk about it. They don't tell anybody about it. And eventually they end up hurting other people.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of the day, a lot of people wouldn't have been hurt if the person responsible would have came out and just talked to somebody.
Yeah.
Straight up to be.
Yeah.
And
It's a metaphor for everyday life, really.
Yep.
I mean,
Exactly. Because this is just like Ted. Pretty much every single death in this movie could have been prevented if he would have just talked to somebody,
yeah.
told somebody what was going on. I mean, there could have been a solution that would have worked out, that would have helped him, even if he would have himself locked up in some fucking lab and then do experiments on him.
Yeah.
They might come up with some kind of serum that would prevent him from transforming.
Yeah.
Or some shit or whatever, because this is, however, because when it comes into the lore, it also hints that he has some kind of disease. So you have like, there is a biological aspect to this, not only a supernatural. No?
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's clearly a little bit of both. No?
Yeah.
So, however,
The other thing is too, and this is kind of what I was thinking about the first time I saw this, not since we've seen it again, is that there is a little bit of this werewolf controlling his human form as well, right?
Yes.
And we see little glimpses of that. And that might also be the reason why he's not telling someone, because that part of him is also not wanting to not be able to be what it is as well. You know what I mean? Like you can look at that any way you want. I think for this movie, it comes down to what you said at first, though. Ted's just a fucking idiot. Period.
Yeah.
He's an idiot. There could have been hundreds of ways that he could have gone about this that would have been better. But you know what's also really sad, though, Mike, is the other thing that this is what kills me. Like, you know how you have a dog, like you have a dog, I have dogs, right? If there's something wrong with a dog, they can't fucking tell you what's wrong. Dogs can't talk. Like, you have to kind of guess. What would have stopped this right in its track is if Thor could talk, because he would have been like, he's a werewolf. Like, what? This is a really bad idea, you know, but he has no way of communicating. So he just has to like go about his way of fixing this on his own, which that sucks. They need to work on dogs being able to talk. Period.
Yeah. But okay. Okay. Actually, this is like a scene that after that, if I'm convinced what happens is it cuts. The thing is, this pacing of this movie is pretty fucking fast.
Oh, it's great. I love it though.
Yeah. It cuts back then to night, where it's coming nighttime, where Thor is now just sitting down in front of the camper. No?
Yep.
He pisses at the camper of Ted.
Brilliant.
Yeah, like marking his territory.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Because the dog knows now that no, he's a werewolf. No, he's seen werewolf. He's kind of a sense, so he knows who the werewolf is.
And he pisses on his territory so that the guy knows, the werewolf knows that the dog is onto him. I love that bit of color. And it comes back later too.
Yeah, it comes back later, exactly. However, this is nighttime, and Ted wants to go and lock himself up,
Right.
but Thor is now waiting in front of the camper, not moving.
Right.
No?
Just sitting there staring at him. Yeah.
Just staring at him. First, he gets back to his camper, hope the dog goes away. Nah. Then he comes out once it's too late, tries to walk by the dog slowly. Nah. The dog growls at him.
Yeah.
Then the dog starts following him, and he says, "Fuck off." He tells the dog to fuck off. Then that's when the dog starts really growling, getting aggressive towards him. Nah. He calls Hemingway, asks Hemingway to call Thor in because he wants to go on a night dog.
Yeah.
He does that, and then he hauls ass up into the woods, wants to lock himself up, but because of the incident with Thor, he doesn't make it in time.
He doesn't get there fast enough, right?
Yeah. It surely could. All of a sudden, Thor starts flipping out. And the boy, Mason, lets Thor out, and he runs directly into the woods. And you see Thor going through the woods, sniffing all of a sudden. Then you see the clothes taken off or whatever. Ted taking his clothes off. And then you see Thor seeing the handcuffs laying on the ground. Thor instantly runs back because now he knows the werewolf isn't tied up the tree.
Right. Yeah. Smart dog.
Once Thor gets back to the house, he starts barking and the werewolf turns around. And just screams at him. Then you have the first fight between a German Shepherd and a werewolf.
And it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It is a fucking cool fight. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. The German Shepherd and the werewolf have this insane fight going on. Pretty cool at the way. Cool fun. Then Hemingway turns on the lights, these big flashlights that go
like
on.
Floodlights, in front of the house.
Floodlights, exactly. That's what they're called, floodlights. That scares the werewolf off. And she brings in Thor back in, and Thor is kind of hurt. She's like obviously freaked out because her dog is hurt or whatever.
Right.
Cleans him up, then puts him, I guess, somewhere safe in the house, then goes up into the camper to kind of get a hold of Ted.
Right.
Then it cuts back to the werewolf view. You can see the werewolf circling around the camper.
Yeah.
While she...
I thought she was toast at this point, dude.
Yes.
I thought she was toast.
The movie makes you believe that she's toast because the werewolf is around the camper circling.
Yeah.
Didn't see her going through Ted's thing. No?
Yep.
First, going through pictures of him and his wife. No? Then after, she goes, "Oh, how nice." Then she goes to a picture scene of his wife totally fucking ripped to shreds.
This should have been like the hugest warning sign, but it doesn't happen.
But this is where she starts to get suspicious of him. Huh?
Because, suspicious.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was my brother and I walked into his camper and saw pictures of his wife torn apart, there would be no suspicion. It would be, okay, I need to call the police, Yeah,
you would confront him at least up front for you. So what the fuck is this? I mean, but she doesn't. But then what brings it up on top of that is she gets his diary and starts reading it.
Yeah.
Then you hear basically everything going off with his words or whatever. He says, day 1 and 1, doctor noticed some disease in my blood, doesn't know what it is. Oh, I had a blackout again. Woke up in the woods, covered in blood, not my own. Then she goes on the pages. Oh, I've what is it called? I've looked into every scientific effort or possibility I have. There is no scientific explanation for a cure. Maybe the love of my family would help because his family was there that really helped him feel better, whatever.
Yeah.
But this is like, I mean, dude, you were trying it for 3 months.
Yep.
This guy has been a werewolf for 3 months, and he's like, after 3 months, he's like, I don't know, fuck it. He visited one doctor. He visited one doctor. Had his blood checked. He's like, you know what? Fuck it. Yeah, it's there's nothing I can do.
Yeah. This is where the book kind of diverges from this, right? The book actually, there's longer than 3 months that go by. There's almost a whole year where he's trying to figure it out. But for the movie, they shorten it up. But it doesn't make any sense that he would go to one doctor and then give up and be like, "Whoa, maybe if I put my family in horrible danger, I won't transform anymore." It makes no sense.
Yeah,
but whatever. We're just going to chalk it up to Ted being an idiot.
Yeah, exactly. For some reason, then the werewolf is all of a sudden gone, and it's not really said what. In the first moment, you're like, "Why did the werewolf leave her alone?"
Yeah.
But it'll come back to why.
Yeah.
However, Hemingway goes back into the house, and basically goes to bed. Then.
Yeah.
This is where you see Flopsy returns. Well, this is one of the best scenes in the movie.
Yes.
Now, Flopsy comes walking out with a Spalter. What's it in the English term?
Like a cleaver, a meat cleaver.
Exactly, a cleaver. He comes walking a cleaver to the doghouse, like, "Oh, come here, doggy, come here, doggy."
Yeah.
And then, and it's because he obviously wants to do something to the dog, which just
Right.
shows what a piece of shit this guy is.
Right.
Then he says, like, come here, you dumb runt." No, and we'll see right behind that, you see the werewolf standing up right behind him. No,
Yeah.
dude, this
Yeah.
scene is just like everybody hates this guy, and this is like, yes. This guy is
Yeah,
getting
you're
fucking-
totally rooting for the werewolf here, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're like, yes. Eat it.
Fucking kill him.
Fucking bite his
kill
head.
him.
Yeah, then the guys all of a sudden terrified see like this 8-foot tall werewolf. The werewolf just screams and just slaps at him. You can see like his fingers off, his
Face is all
his,
scratched immediatly. Yeah.
no, his throat is ripped up. No,
Yeah.
and this is like not only is it strong, it has super
Sharp claws.
claw, because this is like it hit off his fingers. Huh? You know how sharp you can do that. You can do
That's
that.
like
with
that's
a
like
knife.
Wolverine slashing somebody's fingers.
I
Same
mean,
thing.
you
gone.
you can if you hit it at the right joint and the knife is sharp enough, you can whack somebody's fingers off, but it has to be insanely sharp and there has to be force behind it.
Right.
And then not only that, it went through that and cut throughout his entire throat. You see like this guy halfway bleeding to death, and then you just see the werewolf just picking him up and throwing him into the woods. And this is like, holy shit! Not does he throws this guy like 6 meters
Yeah.
into the woods.
Yeah. Dude
And this
goes
is just
flying,
like-
man.
Not even with any effort. He just goes like, whoop.
Gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was disappointed that we didn't get to see more of this guy's death, but I mean, it was effective because it's kind of another scene where you get to see how forceful this werewolf is, how strong it is. Because he literally just throws him and he goes flying, and it was no effort at all. And that's what makes this terrifying is that if he's able to do that, imagine what he can do if he's able just to get to the house. If he wants to get into the house and get the family, it's not going to be anything for him. I mean, this family would be dead in 2 minutes if he,
Yeah.
you know, the only thing that's kept him at bay is the dog. That's it.
Yeah, the dog. Yeah.
It's because I think even the werewolf itself, after the last tussle it had with Thor, is actually scared of Thor.
Well, how should I say? I wouldn't say scared, but it acts in this way like a wolf or a dog
Yep.
does. It portrays the dog as a threat, and you can also see the werewolf. The werewolf is also confused because the werewolf is not used to another animal not being afraid of it,
Right.
and it's also probably not used to having to use force.
That's true. Yeah. It's a good point.
That is what I took from the reaction of the werewolf to the dog. This is like, this werewolf has no fucking idea what this is.
Right.
And it's like first very confused. But even if I would say, in a fair fight, I do still think this werewolf would fucking kill the dog.
Oh, of course he would.
Yeah.
I mean,
But-
absolutely. But the dog is enough of a presence to keep him from doing what he wants to do, which is all it
Exactly.
needs to be. It's a deterrent, right?
It's exactly. However, then it cuts back to the next morning. And the next morning, the sheriff knocks onto the door of the family and shows Hemingway a picture of Flopsy and says, "Do you know this man?" He's just like, "What? Where from?"
Mhm.
And he's like, "Yeah, we found him not far up the road, totally ripped to shreds." And we know that they knew apparently because she called in
Mhm.
that Thor apparently attacked this guy. This is instantly where Thor gets is a suspect because the sheriff suspects that Thor killed him. No, because he says it has to be some kind of an animal because obviously it's not going to be He's not going to suspect a werewolf, obviously.
I mean, I would suspect a bear because where they live, there are bears. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A German Shepherd is not going to destroy a human being like the way they found this guy.
The point, but the sheriff also hasn't outruled that.
Right.
And he says clearly, it could be a large animal like a bear, a wolf, or a big dog. So you can see that the sheriff, even though the dog is a suspect, it's not the main suspect to him because the cops suspect multiple other animals.
But it's enough to get Thor locked up.
Yeah. He just waits towards something. He's like, dude. He's like, no. Might be, and this is also a very old, nonsensical, stupid old belief that if a dog ever licks blood, that'll make them violent. That's stupid.
Not true. Yeah, not true.
It's absolutely ridiculous. But scientifically proven to be total bullshit. But whatever.
Yeah, but I think at this time that was still a belief down there. You know,
exactly. However, she closes the door, but she also asks him specifically. Ask the sheriff, could this have been done by a human? Because she already suspects her brother. Huh?
Right. Yeah.
And he says, no, under no circumstances. A human could not do this. No?
Right.
What he's right about. However, she goes back in, opens up, lets Thor out into the garden, and Thor runs it directly up to the camper. Yeah. And she knows, okay, it's Ted. She knows at this point it's something else.
Yeah, I think at this point she fully knows it.
Yeah,
what's going
on. In that night, she also wants to confront him. She confronts Ted and hear what's going on or whatever. Blah blah blah. They have a short discussion. Ted provokes Thor, and Thor really brutally attacks him. This you can see Thor literally wants to kill this guy.
Yeah, can't blame him.
Yeah, of course, can't blame him. Even though you cannot necessarily consider Ted to be a bad guy, it's obviously what Thor is doing. However, she pulls back Thor, locks him up, but this is also kind of a thing where now she can't really deny to anybody else outside of this situation that Thor isn't violent. So she has to call in the vet to take him to be put to sleep. This is like the worst. This is the worst scene in the movie. By far. Because they come in, pull off Thor, and you can see Thor both forcefully trying to get back to his family. Very, very hard scene.
It's very harsh because the dog itself, I don't know how much of the training behind the scenes got the dog to act this way, but this is a dog that knows what's going on, is terrified for his family, and is also terrified because he's being pulled away. It looks real. And for someone who owns a dog, this scene is damn near impossible to watch. Because the dog hasn't done anything wrong. He's the only reason the family is alive is because of him so far. And now he's being torn away from them. So, I can't imagine what the scene was like in the book, but pretty fucking rough scene.
Yeah. However, while they're taking Thor away, Ted comes walking out and puts his arm over Hemingway, and she's obviously a little bit grossed out by it.
Yeah, she knows what this dude is, man.
Yeah, exactly. Then they're eating dinner, and he has his arm wrapped up. And she's like, you should get a shot for that. He's like, nah, we'll be fine. What she doesn't know is that's already healed at this point. This is the first thing that hints towards the fact that it's never really clear how the healing factor, if this world has a healing factor, but this shows, yes, it does. There are multiple other things that are going to happen to the werewolf when you come towards the end that also show that it has a certain healing factor. And this is something that a lot of people brought up is does silver work or whatever, and blah, blah, blah. It's this is something that a lot of people bring up. It's just it aggravates me with modern movies that they have to tell people every single thing. And I fucking hate that with modern movies. And it's when I tell people, you know what werewolves are, you know what can kill werewolves, right? And if nothing else is said in the movie, just kind of go back to those rules.
Just because they didn't fucking spoon feed it to you doesn't mean it's not that way. But
exactly,
Hollywood assumes people are really stupid, but maybe they assume correctly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
However,
horror
yeah, to
movies,
start
man.
discussion, the Ted tries to calm down the boy, but the boy's like just super fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Not necessarily at Ted, because obviously I don't think the kid really knows exactly what's going on because the mom hasn't talked to him yet either.
No.
She obviously calls Mason away because she doesn't want her brother so near her,
Right.
near him anyway. Then she asks him one last time before he leaves, "Where is your wife? Where is Marjorie?" Huh?
Yeah.
And he says, because she hasn't confronted him yet, huh? And she says she's in Seattle, and then he walks off. And this is where, yeah, she knows because she saw the pictures.
Right.
However,
He also, did you not feel like in the scene he's also not acting like himself at all? There's this air of like almost violence and almost like a shitty personality that we haven't seen him have yet.
yeah. I mean, he pisses on Thor's doghouse.
I love that scene. Yeah, he walks
but-
outside, pisses on the doghouse to say like, "Yeah, I got you, motherfucker."
Yeah, but you could say like maybe this is just more and more the werewolf taking over.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like at this
the
point, you
werewolf-
kind of see it take over his human form a little bit.
You could say like maybe it's a situation where the werewolf, to a certain degree, totally overwrites the character to a certain degree, or the werewolf and the human start to blend.
Yeah.
Or you can also say it's a situation. It's like the last full moon night.
Yeah.
And that's why more and more his bestial nature is coming through. For example, the Werewolf 1980 series, one of the most best lore of werewolves.
Yes, if you haven't seen it, go find it and watch it.
Yeah. Also, great werewolf design. Transformation scenes are fucking awesome. It's like that show is like what got me into werewolves, but that also explains specifically how a lot of things go on with werewolves, because in that show the transformation is a little bit random. There is a cycle going on, but that is not necessarily entirely linked to the full moon.
Yeah.
Also, what happens over time is that the human and the werewolf, their personalities start to blend.
Yeah.
What shows, because the one guy explaining in the beginning, he locked himself up when he knew the transformation was coming because he could feel it.
Yeah.
But at one point he just stopped because he didn't want to.
Yeah.
And this is also kind of figured out because it says, I don't want to hurt my friends. I don't want to hurt my family. And I think at this point I could just hurt anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this, I don't want to spoil it for you, but the main character of that show over the course of this of the series meets multiple other werewolves.
Yeah.
And you can see that after a shortened time, the werewolf starts to blend with the human, and werewolves gain the ability to transform at will.
Yeah.
But always to a certain degree, they become more evil. Not always. There are also other werewolves that are not necessarily evil, that learn to control it, but it is very, very difficult. No?
Right.
And I think you have maybe kind of a situation going on here that eventually probably Ted would have been able to control the transformation, maybe even to control the werewolf. No?
Yeah.
But you would either have the werewolf to a certain degree overriding his personality, or you would have a certain kind of personality blend, going on there.
Yeah.
However, but the thing is, in this, what kind of sucks about this movie specifically, maybe I have to read the book, is the lore is not really explained much.
Yeah.
And you don't see any werewolf that has been a werewolf for a long time. No?
Right.
So it's kind of like, then you have you can go into discussion what happens if somebody is born as a werewolf, and on and on and on and on. You could put that trail of thought on for hours. Yeah. But
the thing is, they don't really need to explain it. I feel like this movie was good enough to where if they wanted to do a part 2 or even make this its own universe, this movie was good enough to have done that. And they could have explained the lore. But in terms of this story, it's not really needed. I mean, they've shown us that he can heal, right? He has a healing factor. The transformations seem to happen with any type of moonlight, which is what he tells the kid. I mean, it just is its own thing, and if they don't really need to explain it, but it's cool how they do it anyway.
Yeah, yeah, it is cool. This is also something that comes up. If it's any type of moonlight, well, dude, you have an easy solution for that.
Yes, it's just like Moonjuice, man.
Moonjuice.
Just don't fucking go outside, man. Fucking stay inside.
Go lock yourself in the basement. No, where there are no windows, and play video games the whole night.
Yeah.
Lock the door. No, or make the door strong enough that a werewolf can't break through it. You're good.
Yep. And that would be all he had to do, man.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Yeah, but whatever. It's whatever.
It's a movie, though. It's a movie. I think, like we said before, this guy could have come up with a million different ways to make this a better situation, but he just doesn't. And that bothers me, but whatever. I mean, we wouldn't have a movie if he wasn't an idiot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, obviously. But the point is, at least they made the right person an idiot in this movie.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. And it's also explained to the point that this guy is not in his right mind at all.
No. He's starting to lose it. Yeah.
He's starting to lose it. I mean, it's just like all the things going on, the curse, a certain degree of the werewolf taking over, him just being totally fucking mind-fucked by the fact that he's killing so much people and he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
That takes a toll on somebody. But however, you can see like him going up at the night into the woods.
Yeah.
This is where Hemingway wants to follow him. First, she gets out her gun. But then lays it back up and goes into the woods just with a flashlight.
Stupid.
It's stupid, but however, it's what she does. Then she goes in and chases after Ted, while the boy gets himself ready to go break his dog out of prison.
Because of course he does. Because I would have done this exact same fucking thing. You're not going to lock my dog up.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. However, but this is like, okay, to a degree, what happens? The boy goes to the vet, frees the.
Yeah.
Okay. So however, then you see Hemingway finally finding Ted. And this also is a thing that he shows that the werewolf is slowly taking over him because he can smell her like meters away from him. That's why you can see the further and further the full moon comes, the more his senses come through, his werewolf senses. So probably a lot of the other features like stronger violence, stronger all the other things.
Everything. Everything's heightened. Right.
Then she comes up, Ted, what's going on here?
Yep.
And he's like, well, actually, I wanted to lock myself up to this tree, but, now that you're here, it's kind of pointless.
That's my thing, dude. At this point, this fucking thing is completely taken over because he's apathetic about the fact that he's probably going to kill his sister, Yeah,
exactly. And to the point you can say the werewolf has taken over, and he's fighting like with his own personality and the personality of the woman. Because he says, like, I told you, the dog tried to warn you, but you didn't listen, and blah, blah, blah. And she's just standing there, like, literally you can see in her eyes, like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Even though at this point she should know what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, she's read the diaries, she's seen the pictures. I mean, if this is a universe where werewolves are not a known thing, then maybe she doesn't, but she is at least aware that he turns into something terrible. That kills people. So there should be no like wondering what's going on at this scene with her, But she does. She looks clueless.
Yeah, exactly. But however, then you have like the first part of the transformation that is a little bit cool. You see him going into pain. You see you hear noises of bones shifting or whatever. Then he gets back up on his knees, and you see like his facial features change. You have to have like yellow canine teeth. And this scene is a little bit funny because he holds the handcuffs and is like, I wanted to lock myself up with this. Can you believe that? And starts laughing at him or whatever, then she gets freaked out and starts running away. And he goes like, come back here, you bitch.
Yeah, it's not him anymore. It's not him.
No, of course not. It's obviously the transformation has already begun. Now you can say clearly it's the werewolf taking over.
Yeah.
Then comes the awful transformation scene. Awful. Worst. I mean, you can say this is the worst werewolf transformation scene ever.
Yeah, and here it is.
Before. Yeah.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, okay. I mean, but I can say the second part of the transformation is good. Is good.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If they would have just gone with that, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But however, okay, then you can see him fully transformed. And once the werewolf just snaps and looks in her direction and starts running after her.
Yeah.
You have like a little scene cutting between Hemingway, the werewolf, and Thor and the boy. Oh, now hauling ass back off to the house because the dog knows exactly what's going to go on there.
Right.
Hemingway runs back into the house, gets the gun, gets the bullets, tries to load it, but then the werewolf just jumps through the fucking window.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
She runs. The werewolf tries to hit her a few times, but she ducks, gets lucky. No?
Yeah. That's the only way to
think,
explain it is get lucky, because I think she would have been toast.
Yeah, probably. But this is also, yeah, I mean, she runs up the stairs, throws entire furniture down the stairs at the werewolf.
Yeah.
And the werewolf just slaps through it, breaking it, and coming back up the stairs. No? Yep. She obviously runs into her son's room. No? Locks the door, and in panic, trying to load the gun, not fully managing or whatever. The werewolf just kicks down the door, and she flies to the other side of the room. And you see the werewolf like doing a short victory, then start walking over the door, just kicked in, walking towards her. And exactly this moment, Thor comes running in, jumps onto the werewolf, and bites him into the fucking neck.
Dude, it's fucking great. I love this scene. Like, this is the one where I was like, fuck yeah! Like, this scene happened when he makes his entrance and tackles the werewolf. Like, if you're watching this movie, you're like, fuck yeah, Thor, you know?
Yeah.
It's cool as shit.
Yeah. It's really fucking cool. Then you have, like, this is like the final fight between Thor and the werewolf. Werewolf slaps Thor a few times. Thor goes at the werewolf, bites him in the neck. You can see blood splaying out from the werewolf. And eventually, at one point, the werewolf just picks up the dog and throws him. Thor hits a lamp and then is knocked out for a few seconds.
Yeah.
In exactly that moment, this is also, I think, a scene that is really fucking one of the best scenes in a werewolf movie. Mason comes running to the door. The werewolf instantly sees him, grabs him by the neck, and picks him up.
And you think it's over, dude. You think it's over for the kid.
I mean, it's just like the scene. This is just like the werewolf just turns around, picks him up, and you can see the look in Mason's eye, like, holy fucking
what the
shit.
fuck? Yeah, because this kid was clueless the whole time. Like, this is a complete surprise because nobody told him anything.
This
poor little fucker.
However, at this point, Hemingway managed to load the gun and just screams, "Let go of my son, you motherfucker!" and starts blasting at him. Shoots the entire. I mean, I think 6 rounds fit in a revolver like this, right?
7.
Okay. I have no clue about weapons, but
if I remember correctly, she does shoot more times than she would actually have bullets, though, because it's constant shooting. Like, she doesn't stop. You know, it's just
but that's
bam, 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 over and over, right into the werewolf.
Yeah, but that's also something you can say, like, the director is most likely probably also somebody that doesn't know shit about weapons. Could be.
Yeah, or just doesn't care. I mean, it doesn't really matter, you know?
You can make up to the point. This is also something where people bring up, that's unrealistic. Oh, yeah, like the werewolf is realistic, dumbass.
Yeah, it's a movie about a werewolf. What do you want? Yeah.
However,
people pick and choose what they think is bullshit.
Yeah, she blasts the entire thing into the werewolf. You see the forest hitting the werewolf. Right back every hit. Stops in front of the window and just like, this is like something that shows that normal weapons can't kill this thing. Obviously,
I mean,
a shotgun to the head is going to blow off the head of almost anything.
Yeah, right.
And And no matter how much your healing factor is, blowing off somebody's head, you're not coming back from
You're not
that.
coming back from that. Yeah.
Not even Wolverine can come back from that.
No.
Not even Superman can come back from that.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
But however, okay, Deadpool could, but Deadpool is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's a different story. Yeah.
Yeah. However, you see like this at the werewolf, you feel like, okay, is this going to kill it now? Then the werewolf is just takes a short breath and then screams and wants to charge back at him. No?
Yeah.
Thor gets up, jumps at the werewolf. The werewolf grabs him and they both fly through the window, over the porch and back on the floor. The majority of that fall hits the werewolf and Thor gets off pretty much fine because the werewolf is the one that hits the floor.
Yeah.
Both Thor and the werewolf are like super injured. Now you can see the glass sticking out of the werewolf. No?
Yeah. Out of Thor too. Thor's all fucked up and bloody.
Yeah,
and...
but the werewolf way more. But you can see like the glass splitters and everything stuck into the werewolf.
Yeah.
I mean, the werewolf gets up and walks into the woods. Huh? Then
kind of hobbles. Like this has really fucked the werewolf up too.
It really has fucked it up.
He's almost like hobbling as he's getting away.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but this is like getting 7 shots, bursting through a window, having several other wounds, probably being impaled by some of the glass splitters or whatever.
Yeah,
falling to an area on a height that would kill that could kill a normal human. Then still being able to get up and walk away, so that this thing has a healing factor.
Yeah.
Not only that, then it shows back into the morning because Thor goes up and follows the werewolf.
Yeah, you get the feeling this happens over the night, right? So this werewolf doesn't just stay in this area. It probably goes a good couple miles away, and Thor's just tracking it the whole way.
Yeah, right? Thor tracks down the werewolf. Then it comes back to the morning, and Ted has turned back, and you can see how fucked up Ted is.
Yeah, he's a mess. Yeah.
I mean, you can see like half of his face scratched up, this real wound coming out. These are wounds that would like kill probably the most person.
Yeah, most people.
And Ted is still walking.
Yeah. He's
limping, but he's still walking. So Ted would have probably been fully healed after a day again. Huh?
Yeah.
Probably. But however, this is just like where Thor is growling at him.
Such a great scene.
Best, really good scene, by the way. Ted just looks at Thor and is like, "Do it, do it, please,
Take me out.
What? Take me out, release me, just do it." Now, you hear Thor running up the bed, barking, and then you hear obviously
Thor killing him. Yeah,
Thor killing him.
Yeah.
Okay. Then it cuts back to the family. This is like Hemingway, like, "Oh, you're such a nice dog." Then it shows like a scene where Thor is kind of transformed into a werewolf, and then Hemingway wakes up that it was just a nightmare. You see Thor coming up, having everything patched up, so Thor is fine.
Yeah.
It zooms out, and that's the end of the movie. Now, here's something that comes up with a lot of people. That are like, "Yeah, isn't Thor a werewolf now?"
No. Why the fuck would you think that?
No.
Come on.
This is something that comes up with people. Not the only werewolf story that has ever done this is Cursed. Yeah?
Yeah, but I mean, that's a silly movie.
And I don't really think that is a good werewolf movie.
No, that's a silly film.
However, but this is like, and every time people brought that up with my family, with friends or whatever, but she still has the problem because, now Thor would have known. The werewolf curse does not affect animals.
No, it never has, except for that one stupid movie.
Yeah, it only affects humans. To become a werewolf, you have to be a human. The only other werewolf universe that does this is Werewolf the Apocalypse from World of Darkness. But that's also an entirely different thing.
That's
because
its own universe, completely.
Werewolf there is not a curse. No? Werewolves straight up to begin with keep their personality, and they can straight up to begin with transform at will. No?
Yeah.
And also, just like you in that universe, you can't be turned into a werewolf.
Yeah.
You have to be born as one. And there comes, you could be born. And werewolves can have children with humans or with wolves.
Right. Now,
What-
correct me if I'm wrong, though, and this might be going off in left field, but when we get into movies like, what's the other one where they? Oh God, I forget Mike already. The other movie that it took the storyline from Werewolf the Apocalypse and put it into movies. There's 3 films. There's some of your favorite films.
Underworld.
Underworld. So in Underworld, can dogs get infected?
No.
Okay. I
Yeah,
mean,
but that's also the thing. It's never really said in Underworld, but I mean the thing is with Underworld is a virus. And what a lot of people don't know when it comes to Werewolf the Apocalypse and Vampire the Masquerade, Underworld is a ripoff of Vampire the Masquerade. What a lot of people do not know now, the company that makes Werewolf the Apocalypse and Vampire the Masquerade originally was White Wolf. That got sold off to other companies for the last few years. I think it was Paradox Interactive.
Yeah.
Now it's White Wolf again. Weird thing going on. However,
Right.
whenever Underworld came out, what a lot of people do not know, the film studio that made Underworld got sued.
Yep.
For, what's it called? Copyright infringement. No?
well, they
and this is like
basically
some-
stole the story. I mean,
Yeah. And this is like when people come up with werewolf stories, whatever creator of Underworld and Werewolf or whatever, this is like every single time, like, no. Even though Underworld, the first movie, is one of my favorite movies, it is a Vampire the Masquerade ripoff, and it is
Yep.
so similar that the studio made Underworld got sued by White Wolf. Now, it didn't win to court because both
they
of these
settled out of
companies-
court. Yeah.
they settled out of court. But simply the fact that a major Hollywood company was willing to settle this outside of court must have known what a strong case White Wolf would have had.
Of
And I
course.
looked into it. And this is like generally, I look into the world of darkness just because I find when it comes to monsters, werewolves, and vampires, it is the most best written vampire and werewolf universe. No?
Yeah.
Besides Anne Rice. And it's just like why it is so mind-blowing to me that there have not been any movies. There has been one TV show, by the way. It was bad, but whatever. That there have not been any movies or TV shows in this universe because it
Yeah.
is highly complicated. The lore is so brilliantly done. And that's where you get to the point why exactly Underworld is a ripoff. Because in Werewolf the in the World of Darkness, werewolves and vampires are strong enemies. Mainly due to the fact that werewolves despise vampires because they're unnatural. Werewolves in that universe are basically like created from Mother Nature to work as the world's immune system.
Right.
Werewolves despise everything that is not natural. Everything. And this comes to the point, werewolves, even though they're monsters and supernatural, werewolves in this universe are not unnatural beings
Right.
because they were created by Mother Nature herself.
Right.
Also, interesting werewolf lore. Don't want to go on to it to a certain degree.
If you like
But-
werewolves, go check it out because it is cool.
Yeah.
It is very
Check
cool.
it out clearly, specifically when it goes into the different species of werewolves.
Yeah.
No, but basically there's not much of a difference. It's just like human-born werewolves, wolf-born werewolves, and werewolves that are born as werewolves.
Right.
Super interesting.
Yeah,
That
it's
entire
cool.
thing
It's
going
cool.
on. Yeah.
I mean, I would
However-
champion them to do a movie that was close to that
Yeah, I
within
mean-
that universe that they didn't get sued for because it's actually the
dude,
company.
dude,
I would love to see that.
I love Werewolf the Apocalypse Earthblood. Love that game. Even though it has its flaws. If they could have done that game with a budget enough that they would have been able to put more level variety, more enemy variety, all into that kind of stuff. No? Yeah, that could have been an amazing game. I loved it.
You're going to get your wish because part 2 is coming out and a major studio just picked it up. So
Yeah. Not of Werewolf Earthblood 2. The game you're talking about is a Werewolf the Apocalypse game,
Yeah.
but it has no connection to Earthblood.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yep.
still, I'm
Yep.
going to play the shit out. of
But there's also a Vampire the Masquerade game coming out. But
Yeah.
whatever. I mean,
it. Yeah.
don't want to go down that road. But the thing is, in Vampire the Masquerade, now this is the funny thing. The reason why the war between the werewolves and the vampires started is a reason. Werewolves, since the beginning, have always despised vampires.
Yeah.
No? And usually hunted them down when they saw them. No?
Yeah.
And of course, vampires are no match to werewolves. Huh? So what kind of led to vampires mainly living in cities and werewolves staying out in the nature? Most vampires don't go to the woods for a specific reason.
Werewolf.
Because they're terrified woods are werewolf territory. No?
Right.
However, but this is interesting. There was a vampire elder back in the medieval ages from the vampire clan or vampire bloodline Samishi. No? This vampire elder wanted to enslave werewolves and use them as daytime guardians.
Yeah.
This incident is what led in the medieval times to werewolves actively declaring war on vampires.
Yeah.
This also happened during the same time that the church started to hunt down vampires, and specifically it was the church and werewolves that almost wiped out all vampires of this time.
Right.
This incident was caused by this one vampire elder that tried to enslave werewolves and totally failed at it.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what this vampire elder's name was?
What?
Victor.
Could have seen that coming. Yeah.
I mean,
just like the movie. Yeah.
Just like the movie. The design of the vampires is exactly the way the Ventru clan was. Their clothes. No?
Yeah.
Back in the day. No?
Yeah.
Werewolves being able to transform at will. That was straight out taken from Werewolf the Apocalypse, and even the human hybrid, the vampire werewolf hybrid.
Yeah.
So taken from Vampire the Masquerade, that's known as Abominations.
Yep.
And they exist as well. Huh?
Yep.
And it's like even the fucking storyline.
Yeah, it is exactly. Yeah.
They literally only
did.
changed that. And of course, so the point is, so Underworld, even though how much I love it, is a Vampire the Masquerade ripoff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is something that happens time and time again, and I don't know why it's specifically with horror. I mean, we had the discussion before too with Nosferatu, right? So Nosferatu is hailed as one of the best vampire stories that exists, but all it is a fucking ripoff of Bram Stoker's Dracula to a T in almost every single way, and they were also sued for it.
Yeah,
So,
that's kind of the point. What we brought up in the Nosferatu example, it is the same story. People are like, no, it's not. Dude, Bram Stoker's family sued the company that made Nosferatu
and had most of the copies destroyed.
And they won. I mean, even that case didn't even last long. It was like literally one sitting. They went in there. The court looked at this like, yeah, you're right. You guys win.
Yep. And I don't know why people keep trying this thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not that hard to come up with your own shit. I mean, if you and me had to sit down and come up with a werewolf story, we could do it pretty quick without having to steal somebody else's shit.
Even, I mean, you can even take inspiration from it. Even when it comes to, if it was only the design of the vampires prop. No, I don't think White Wolf had have said anything because they have a very good example of them not doing that.
Yeah.
Blade.
Right.
No?
Exactly.
When they made the first Blade movie, the company, they clearly took inspiration from the artworks from Vampire the Masquerade. No? And they liked that entire tone. So that's why they took specifically that vibe, for the movie.
Right.
And White Wolf even was aware of this.
Yeah.
No? But what brilliantly happened, what a lot of people do not know, is when they made Blade 2, the movie company, instead of taking pure inspiration from White Wolf, they just went to White Wolf and hired their artists. And they had White Wolf do the entire designs. That is why the Reapers look like the Nosferatu from Vampire the Masquerade, because they're like, hey, if we're inspired by it, why don't you guys just design the costumes for us?
And that's much better than just ripping off a story and using names from an original story and everything else. Right. There's a serious lack of originality with a lot of horror nowadays, and that bothers me. And you don't really see it with any other movies except for horror. Like, horror rips off other horror movies all the time. Almost even all the way down to the names of the characters and the instances. And they get away with it or they get sued, but you don't really see it with other movie genres. Not quite like you do with horror. But as a fan, I'm fine with it because that just means I get more horror, Yeah,
obviously, yeah.
Okay. I'd say this movie, I remember when I originally saw it, the only thing that I didn't like was the transformation and the fact that I didn't feel like it was brutal enough, but now watching it as an adult, I'm like, it's totally brutal enough. Like this werewolf's a fucking powerhouse and the gore level is pretty good. So if you like gore, you would like this movie as well.
Yeah.
One of the better werewolf films. And right now, I think there's only one place you can get it. Unless you have the DVD copy. Because I think we were only able to find it on Prime, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, totally worth watching. Go check it out. If you like this version of the werewolf and you agree with us that this is probably one of the best, tell us that because I don't want to feel like I'm fucking nuts.
I mean,
it's the best looking werewolf.
It is the best looking werewolf, and it runs the power level. Werewolf the Apocalypse is the only other franchise where I've seen werewolves at this power.
Yeah. Totally. So werewolf lovers, if you haven't seen this movie, you're missing out. I'm glad we finally got to do it too. Also, the fact that the dog is the hero gets like an extra fucking 20 points for me. We need to see more of that. I would love to see more movies where the dog is the hero instead of the dog always getting killed off for some stupid reason. Looking at you, Evil Dead. What the fuck, man? What the fuck? That was our other episode we just did recently where the dog gets killed. Yeah. I just wish people would stop doing that shit. Make them heroes. Quit killing them. Anyway, Mike, you got anything else you want to say about this film?
No, not at all. No, just like it's one of my favorite werewolf movies, and I think one of the best. It is. I don't know, one of the best werewolf designs ever made.
Yep.
One of my favorite movies and movies of all time. If you're a werewolf fan, this is clearly a movie you have to have seen.
Yeah. I'm not sure you can call yourself a werewolf fan if you haven't, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Mike, what's our next episode? I do this to you every time. Now you got to go look it up.
You do every time. This time I know.
Okay. What is it?
The Thing prequel.
Fuck.
I put this movie on it just because I wanted to fucking torture you.
I fucking hate you, Mike. This movie sucks.
Okay. Let's be honest. When have we had a movie on this where we weren't able of totally fucking going after it? I also had this thought process. We have, from multiple friends, a very highly requested movie that, The Death of a Unicorn.
I like the movie. I think it's great.
Yeah. So I just think spontaneously, are we going to do that movie, or am I just going to want to torture Matt? You made me watch Alien Earth.
You got a point. Okay, we'll do it. I'm gonna fucking rip this movie apart. I'm just gonna tell you right now. So if you want to see me destroy a movie, watch the next episode.
Okay, yeah. So then we're doing then we're doing The Thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. Okay. Well, catch us next time for the Thing prequel. Fuck. And until then, I'm Matt.
I'm Mike.
We'll see you guys next time.
See you next time. Bye.
The black skies, the depth